Hi everyone, I hope you're doing well. If you don't already know who it is, the one and only, the true Alex J. There's quite a lot of news to get through, so let's get through it. So the first story that we have is from CNBC, and they have a story about how cold calling a farmer helped launch this entrepreneur's yogurt company. And this is a nice story. She says about 12 years ago, an Aussie expat, which means she's moved abroad, and Noosa Yoghurt co-founder Koel was sitting in a Colorado cafe thinking about starting her own yogurt business when she noticed a flyer for a local dairy farm. She immediately decided to cold call fourth generation farmer Robert, she tells CNBC Make It, to pitch her yogurt business idea. This is cool. So basically she had an idea, she really wanted to do it, just out of coincidence she happened to see a flyer for something that she would need, would be an essential part of her business. She decides to give him a cold call, and try to proceed. That's the same kind of thing you should be doing if you're looking at starting a business. Sometimes things just come around by coincidence. If that kind of happens, maybe it's destiny and maybe you should take part in it. Never be afraid to pick up a phone. You never know if they're going to say yes or no, but either way, at least you tried. So she says, when you have this drive to bring your idea to life, you have to be able to push beyond your comfort zone. Thomae says, the worst that could happen from a cold call is no. Kind of what I was saying just a second ago. She gave him a call basically. She said, I gave him my pitch and I know he thought I was a little crazy, but it was the moment he tasted the yogurt that bonded over this idea like no other, and since that day we haven't looked back. So she just took a chance. She dived straight in. She said, heck it, I've never started a business before, but I think this is the one, this could work. She dived in and she started her business. She started the business Noosa Yoghurt in 2009. And bear in mind, she's an expat, so I mean, she's in a different country, so, unfamiliar surroundings, no contacts or anything else. From then, she now has 240 employees and $170 million in sales. I think that's absolutely incredible. I think, again, it's another inspiring story. Again, you should take notes from this. If you're looking at starting your own business, it doesn't matter what kind of business you're looking at getting into, just jump in, just, take that deep breath and jump for it. She was even saying it's very, very difficult in the industry that she's in because she's a female and there's lots of males in the food industry, which I thought was quite surprising. I thought it would be more dominantly women. Don't judge me. That's just what I thought. And I was very surprised to hear it's mainly, it's a very male-dominated world. She said it's still a very much male-dominated world in food. It's really hard times in business. So she's also trying to raise a child and, she's trying to do this business at the same time. But I think she's done really well. 170 million in sales, that's nothing to laugh about. That's absolutely incredible. So again, take notes. The next story we have is from CNBC again. This is actually talking about Mark Zuckerberg, and he's talking about AI. It says, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk's doomsday AI predictions are pretty irresponsible. If you don't already know, there's a lot of news going on right now about artificial intelligence. Is it a danger? Is it something that we should be worried about? A lot of people are saying that it's going to replace a lot of people's jobs. Some people are going to say it's going to completely revolutionize the world for good. And some people are saying, well, it could be the Terminator and it could be revolutionizing the world in not the way that we want. There'll be lots of fires and lots of craziness. So basically, Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg, what he's saying is, he's saying that it's not something that we should worry about. He says that it's going to make our lives better. AI is going to make our lives better in the future, and doomsday scenarios are pretty irresponsible, says Zuckerberg. So basically, someone asked him, I watched a recent interview with Elon Musk, and his largest fear for future was AI. What are your thoughts about how AI could affect the world? And he says, I have exposure to them. Oh, sorry, that's what Elon Musk says. And then he says, I have pretty strong opinions on this. I'm extremely optimistic, which I think is great. He's optimistic about it. He thinks that AI is going to be doing lots of wonderful things for the world. He starts talking about, self-driving cars. He said, if one of the biggest killers in the world is car crashes and traffic accidents, if you've got artificial intelligence driving these cars intelligently, then obviously it's going to be a lot more safer, and that means less people are going to die. And obviously if less people die, that's a good thing and it's beneficial. He's also saying that it's helping these AI are able to identify if someone has diseases before anyone else would have been able to previously. So they're able to actually identify these diseases, and obviously that's going to help in their, not only their diagnosis, but help in their treatment as well. Obviously, usually if you get, if they can diagnose it earlier, they can help you before it gets into a later stage. And again, it kind of varies, you know, dependent on if it's a virus and blah, blah, blah. But again, Mark Zuckerberg's extremely, he says, don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. I think there's reasons that he might be saying that. At the same time, you've got Elon Musk and Bill Gates. They're both extremely worried about it. They said AI is something that we should be really, really fearful for. And they're saying that we need to be, you know, we need to be cautious, and we need to, you know, be very wary of what direction it's going. Speaking of artificial intelligence, let's have a look at something crazy. What I'm going to do, I'm going to play this at the same time that you guys are going to be watching this. This is something that I saw, and I wasn't sure exactly how to feel about this, so I'll let you guys judge. So I'm going to be playing it on this side, and I'm going to be watching it at the exact same time. Or maybe I'll just put it over the full screen. You'll find out. It says it might look a little goofy, but this animation shows something pretty amazing. Now, what you're seeing is from Tech Insider, and this is Google's AI. It did this on its own. It learned how to walk all on its own. And this freaks me out. That really scares me. Like, you can see it's learning. They also so they gave it basically a body, and they said, you know, you need to get from A to B, and the computer figured out how to make it move. That's why it moves a bit weird, because it learned on its own. So you can see this is the one with the 2 legs. And you can see all they did was tell it move from A to B, and it figured out how to make it move, how it needs to balance. It's scary, man. That's really scary. The thing is, and this is the part that I don't think people realize, that basically means that you could give, again, from my theory, obviously I'm not an AI developer, but what I understand from seeing this is, it means that they could give it a robot body and tell it, make it walk, and it would be able to. Like, seeing this, it means that the computer would be able to figure out how to make that robot walk and how to jump over these obstacles, which, if you think about it, is really scary, because that's basically very close to Terminator, because it means it's learning how to walk on its own, it's learning how to run on its own. You can't push it over, you can't knock it down, you can't beat it. It's I don't know, this kind of thing scares me after seeing this video. It does move really funny though. It is really funny the way it runs around. That one, I love the windmill. Woo. So, I don't know. Again, it's up to you guys. I'd love to hear your feedback. Leave a comment below. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Are you worried about it? Are you not worried about it? What are your opinions? I really want to hear from you guys. Definitely leave a comment below. I'm really, really interested. Do you think it could be the end of the world, or do you think this is just, you know, it's nothing major? It scares me. Now, in other news from TechCrunch, they're basically talking about Facebook overtaking Instagram, and they're saying, you know, it's a good thing. So what they were saying is, since they've taken over it, it's been really good, because obviously it's one of the things that have made them a lot of money. It's obviously brought them a lot of traffic. Same thing for WhatsApp as well. They've also literally very, very recently, in the last 12 hours, Facebook just acquired Source 3, and they said it's to get the content creators paid, which is crazy. Just think about that for 2 minutes. They basically they took over another whole company just to help them get paid. So Facebook is on the crisp of a big push to lure independent content creators to share their art through the news feeds. But it needs to prove it can help creators monetize their content without allowing piracy to run rampant. That's why it acquired content rights management startup Source 3, including its team and technology. So they basically just took over this whole company to help them get paid. So they're like, look, we want to have all your stuff on our website. We don't want you to lose out. We don't want you to be losing money from it. We want to help you. So what we'll do is we'll buy your whole company, and then obviously we'll help you get paid. Again, what do you guys think? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you think they're monopolizing? Like I said, they took over Instagram, and since then Instagram's done really, really well. Or do you think Instagram was already on that trend? Do you think it was already going to grow? It was already going to become successful before they bought it? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you. So I thought these were really interesting. There's also a really cool story about from prdaily.com. It says, study, Instagram offers marketers best engagement on videos. I thought this was really interesting. They're basically saying that when you advertise on Instagram, you get better engagement for the video than you do on any other platform compared to Facebook. So I thought that was really cool. Obviously, if you're doing a lot of advertising, if you're spending a lot of money on there, that's really cool. It says the study also found that YouTube boasted the highest organic views, but Facebook provided brand managers the best reach for their videos. In terms of a video content, a new study from L2 identifies that Instagram as for the best engagement, Facebook is the best for reach, and YouTube is the best for organic via search. The company parsed the data from 60,000 videos, 293 campaigns, from 201 brands. So I thought, that's really, really cool. So again, if you're advertising, this is some information that you want to take into account. Again, Facebook has the best reach, YouTube best organic. So again, what that means is it's great if you're advertising on the platform. These are the stats that you're going to want to pay attention to. So again, if you don't already know, Instagram, best for engagement, Facebook, best for reach, and YouTube, best for organic views. Again, I thought that was really interesting. I thought that was really cool, and it's definitely something that you should take note of. Again, I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave comments below on anything that you heard below. What do you think about the lady starting her own yogurt company? Do you think that's inspiring? Are you going to start something similar? What did you think about Facebook taking over other companies? What do you think about Mark Zuckerberg talking about artificial intelligence? Is it something that you're afraid of? Is it something that you don't really care about? Does that AI learning how to walk all on its own, does that make you more aware or more afraid, or does that make you more calm because it runs like this? I'd love to hear from you guys. Leave some comments below. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button below so to get all the latest entrepreneur news. I look forward to speaking to you guys again soon, but in the meantime, peace.